So welcome back. I think this will be better because the other ones are just having issues. So let's see if this will be okay. I don't know why I keep having technical difficulties running this, but okay. So just to go over what we had done earlier. Okay. So missing record injectable annotation the best get controller. So what we did was to create some base abstract classes so that we're able to do the implementation based on the context that we'll be providing. So apparently the get, we created a base get post controller, base get controller, and also delete, patch, and put. So these ones now are the ones that will be able to extend based on whatever we're going to be doing. So let me just start with the base get. So injector, it's really a fix. So fix that. So once that is fixed, so let me see if, yeah, so it's working okay. Let's try if the user is still working. Where is it? Users. Yeah, and it works well. So that means if now we get to this side, what we need to implement is to just have our the get, we just put the get and we'll get the context, and whatever is returned we should be able to use it. So what we'll start off with is to implement auth. So we'll start with the auth part because just starting off we need the database, we need to set up the database and have everything else working correctly. So that means we'll have basic seeding of data. So let's see what we had the user. So if you want anything about this, in the description there's a code which you can follow through with. And welcome if you're new here, and if you've been here, I hope whatever we are going through here will be benefit. So it's just that I'm having some network issues, so just ended up stream just before this because of internet issues, but let's hope this will be okay. So with these base implementations, this means that whatever we'll be implementing will just extend a single controller for a given particular activity. So if we want to get all the users, we'll be extending the base. Then now, as you've seen, for the base controller, you have to apply the at injectable decorator so that Inversify is able to resolve it, even if it's an abstract class. So with this is just linting issues. So I'll just fix all auto fixable problems and should be able to. This is just basic documentation. If you document in the abstract class, if now you come to the method here, the actual implementation, you'll see we can carry we can get the documentation from the base abstract class directly in the class that is implementing whatever methods are in the abstract class. So start off, I'll need to just commit these few changes so that what we have done, just add base controllers based on the HTTP methods commit this, then we can sync. So once that is in place, now we'll start working on the user. So in the user, we said we need a schema. Whatever will be the request, the payload kind, the database, how will it be? So if we come to our database in the DB here, we add schema. So in the user table, we have the ID, first name, last name, email, username, password, whether the user is active, whether the email is verified, and last login at and last login IP. So needs to reset password. So that will be very essential whenever we want to enforce some security measures, because if passwords take very long to be updated, then means that the user something can happen and the user not be secure. So what we can do is to just can add last password reset at, then now we make it a date. Then in our migrations, now we'll just go to migrations, and in this migration that we are having here, I think I'll just need to delete it for now, because I have not much done already. So I'll just migrate new. So this should generate a schema migration based on whatever we have. So that is what's wrong with it? What's really, let me switch this up. really happening. Okay, my internet is. Let me just reset. Really bad internet connection today. This- Okay, let me see whether this can really go. Okay, so I think we are live. Really bad today. We're having bad internet. So okay, so I've added a field for last password reset at, then last login IP. So with this, I'll just need to set up a database. I don't know, have database app. So for my development, I usually use Docker. So we have Postgres running. So I think That is okay. Just that I don't know the password actually. Let me see if I go to let's go to dev projects, YouTube, CD Digital Venture, CD SaaS Database Services, art.tv. Have this. This should be our password. Copy. We have user as dev, password localhost. Then our database will be payroll system. So you can use those credentials to go this one. I think I had this connect. So we'll have this DB as payroll system. Create the database. Then we'll have the database name here to be payroll system. So how I'm going to structure the login process. Let's log in here first. So we'll just create a blank one. So payroll system login. So we usually have DFD, but I won't go to the details of this data flow diagrams. These are diagrams that showcase how things are flowing in the system. So let's say data flow diagrams. So a data flow diagram is a diagram maps out the flow of information for any process or system. So it uses defined symbols like rectangles, circles, and arrows, plus short text labels to show data inputs and outputs, storage points, and the routes between each destination. So data flowcharts can range from simple, even hand-drawn process overviews to in-depth multi-level DFTs that dig progressively deeper into how the data is handled. So there are given levels of the DFDs. So see, so like for this example, you process an order order information into orders, shipping information. So external entities, data store, then the flow. So here user is the entity, process order entity. This is the data store. User is also, then collection payment invoices are also stored. So see, for an example, guest, fill cancellation form, fill reservation form, then get the room info. Going to fill reservation. Okay. So you can draw that FD or a chart, but the idea is you'll have a user submit the login details system, the backend, so then we have the DB. So what we'll have defined here, in between here we'll have a couple of things. So we'll store session, details, and the user info, and now submit. Login. Then I want, like, I'm not doing the professional approach of these, but it's the basic system. So request for login system, request for login, then we get afterwards get session info, of which this will be things like the JWT and user info. So this will represent the UI side, and this will represent the backend, that is the API. And now we interact with the DB. So in the DB, we have the user. So with this, we'll add as token. So in our schemas, we'll add one. Yes. Then an export function const token and enter. So in the tokens, what we'll be having is what we had here, PG table, pg table which will have tokens, then p which will be integer, and should be our primary key. Why is this one not deployed? So from Drizzle ORM get pg then we'll have the user ID, then we'll have the token which will be of so length 6, so for the uniqueness so let's see if the user tries to log. Okay, so token I use us to exist for a token to be created, so I think to their thing is okay. Expiry and now we can generate table timestamps. So with this means that we'll have a token, then we can have a role, I don't know whether we have things for validation here. The role will be validating in the code. So we don't have any boolean. The token table okay. Let's document what we have here already. So there's a payroll system under development. You can cloning the project. install dependencies using yarn. That is search yarn install. So after installing everything, then run in dev mode. Need to run yarn dev, and running prod. You need to run sh yarn start. That's for production linting. And lint. Then we have lint fix, fixing lint issues, formatting. We'll use and format. So that is for the development database. You need to build create an env dot env file in the root. The project, then afterwards we'll need to so for creating new migrations, you need to run migrate new. Then for publishing or migrations to db, use yarn migrate publish. That should do it for that part of operations building. So then building the project, run and build. I think this is so this is a school management payroll system that should manage employee, employees, and probably students who might also be it. This just add here. Migrate, update, project readme. I can just publish it. I hope my sound is okay. We check on it. Yeah. So this should be okay. So this is okay for now. So let's work on. We'll also add a session schema. Login session. Login session table. So it's really bad with the internet. Digital. So let's see, IP. Table from, what's the difference? So we'll have our the session expire. Then you can have the token ID, because let's keep it lean. We'll just have the created at, updated at, deleted at, and login IP. So with that IP, fix this. This is just okay the way it is. Login session table. Yep, my migrations. Just delete the migrations for now so that I can finalize on my schema. So I will have token table, which will be storing the tokens. We'll also have the types for those tokens, but we'll be managing them from the code perspective. So if anything happens, because this is development, we'll just adjust and move forward. So user table, we have the user. Token table, we have the tokens. Then now I'll just, I think those are enough. And migrate new, so we'll just push these changes, our migrations, then we have interest. So currently okay, this won't work the way I want it. We'll start off with the, I'll disable this because I want them to be in order. Then delete the migrations. I'll retain the user. To push the user, migration is just for create user table. So in the user table, we can also have this can be an enum. So it's a varchar just set that one. I think this will be our final for the user. Create the users table. Afterwards, we'll need the tokens. And that one should create a new one for creating the tokens. Then we activate the login session. We just stop clean. So we have our users created. I think, is this something? Login. Okay. Okay, with this, we'll just leave it as is. So not much to worry about. We have create users, create tokens, then create the login sessions. So we'll have to get the session ID. We will also need to session. This should be user ID and session ID. Then we can just create new, and this should get our login sessions table and add session ID. That's it. We can now push this to push this now to our DB. And migrate deploy. So if we come to our database, we should have public, have login sessions, view structure, should have deleted that session ID, which is a UID. We have the tokens, we have the users. Next, because the database is already in sync, we need to set up how user auth. Also, we need to connect this connect these databases. Drizzle relationship. How do you define relations? One-to-one. What const user relations? What relations from Drizzle ORM? So user token. What const token relations? We pass token table and pass a function here, which now say this will just be token relations. Then we can import here one. Then we can say equal. User relation invited. So how do you point? Provides you with an API and one example of one where a user can invite self users users invite interviewer invitees the invited one example for an example would be user having a profile information separate. In this case, because many keys have neither face user info we'll have here. Then you can say the user and just have it as owner will be so one this is token tables as owner, which is user table, and we'll have fields user table ID what's here name. Okay, info one user, so a profile with one user, token has What does this point to? Let's see. Drizzle. The user schema defines your query is using named. The user only has one permission. I would suggest applying your query use permission. Schema definition. User relation. Users. Then the user permission. Okay, let's see where we're going wrong. Export user relations, which will be okay. For import relation from Drizzle ORM, then you'll have token table, and the fields will be ID. And references, user table, why is this? What does fields really? Oh my. I'm gonna go for many. One too many. User has many posts. Okay.